Hello Capsuleer, my name is Gildy and welcome to EVE Online. So, you just started playing EVE and want to get into something chill to get the basics of the game, or you decided that mining is the best thing for you and you want to do it full time, even earn Omega while doing it. This can be doable, but it also is a quite daunting task, closing you in a loop of mining in order to get Omega, to keep mining to get Omega. There is a lot of other activities that will get you more ISK per hour as alpha, but mining is the most chill, I do admit that. And if you use it for your own industry, it can propel you into good income. Today, I will tackle figuring out what are your options in highsec, lowsec and wormholes, omitting nullsec, as in order to get there you basically need to join a nullsec block, abandoning the rest of the areas of space, and I have not been playing in there since the equinox changes, so I cannot really speak about the profitability and sustainability of the mining there. The road I want to explore here is a whole mining progression, from alpha to multiboxing. This should give you an idea, should you want to get into mining on a bigger scale, what options do you have, what ISK per hour should you be expecting with high skills, and what steps are there to the expansion so you can plan your training accordingly to make sure your character or characters will start earning their living as soon as possible. The mining speeds and profits I will present do not include any boosting done by an orca or a porpoise, as I am working under the assumption that the player is mining mostly solo up until they get their own boosting ship. This means that your earnings can be sped up to 46.5% by joining other players in a corporation and having them boost you, but we will be working off of the base numbers. Other assumptions are, first of all, since the theoretical player wants to maximize their ISK per hour, they will get to the max skills for their ship as soon as possible, so unless you get max skills, your results will be a bit lower than the ones I will be presenting on the screen. Fits might not be made for full mining speed, as I work off of the fits I use, which maximize tank first and mining speed second, making sure I don't lose them to gankers. And secondly, ISK per hour I will present will be for compressed ore, because that is the most common version that is traded for most ore, apart from kernite that is sometimes traded near mission hubs for hand-ins, and prices are Jita sell prices at the time of me recording this. So, first things first, alphas and their abilities. Bright-eyed newbies that want to go out there and become the next industry powerhouse while sitting in a barely fit venture. We will skip over them learning how to fit a ship and get to a decently made venture, mining with lasers and keeping drones to fend off any rats. You can see the fit I will be using on the screen right now, and I will also share all the fittings I will be presenting here in the description of the video if you want to check them out and use. With this venture, a newbie miner can and of course will try to start in highsec, mining the staple of all production in EVE, Veldspar, Scordite, Plagioclase and Pyroxeries. Doing so with quickly trained T2 lasers and a movie playing on the other screen, they can get the following ISK per hour with highsec ores found in belts. Provided that they get to compress it fast, because every time they get full they have to warp off, they will lose some of that ISK per hour. Prices of ore can and will vary depending on when you watch the video, as EVE economy and CCP's changes will affect prices a lot. This shows that to get Omega just mining in a venture in highsec would be quite a task, going up to around 11 million ISK per hour at the time of this recording, which is not really a lot, because it would take nearly 273 hours of continuous mining just to earn enough ISK, not doing anything else. This can be discouraging, I know, but it serves as a reminder that if you really want to get Omega, putting away a little money in real life might be a better solution than slaving away for scraps and telling yourself that this is fun. If you join a highsec corporation, they might have moon rocks available for you. They can be a pretty good source of ore for profit, as they have not only minerals but also reaction materials. Another bonus is that they usually have bigger rocks, so you can stay on the grid longer, and people usually group up into fleets to grab the ore, providing boosts and compression for it, allowing you to sit on the belt for hours without having to dock up. Currently, the price of moon rocks is actually down compared to regular ore because of the changes made in the Equinox expansion. However, the minerals that come from the moon rocks are slowly going back up, so the profitability of mining highsec moon rocks should go back up soon. There are, however, other ways to expand your mining operation if you are hell-bent on getting Omega the industrial way. Those are Lowsec ore mining, which will, for sure, have lower actual ISK per hour result than the one you will see on the screen, because you will need to start avoiding other players trying to blow you up, and probably will need to haul your ore back to highsec to compress it. The ores you will be able to catch show up mostly in ore anomalies scattered across Lowsec, so your area might sometimes not have all of them. Ores to look for are Jaspet, Kernite, Umber, Hemorphite, Hedbergite, Gneiss, Dark Ochre and Crocite. Since there is a lot of them, I will present you with the top 3 ISK per hour ones on the screen so you know what to aim for. If you don't like Lowsec, you can also try hunting for the middle choice here, Gneiss and wormholes. They do spawn ore sites with average frontier deposit having 450,000 units of the ore, but there is a catch. After around 20 minutes, sleepers will spawn, so you will need a ship to get rid of them. For an alpha player, a decently fit cruiser should make short work of them, so you can get extra ISK from the wrecks if you sell the blue loot to NPC buy orders. Now, is that it? Is that everything you can do as an alpha in the mining department? Of course not. If you manage to get around 40 million ISK for a skill book, you can get into gas harvesting, or gas huffing for short. This in itself can be the best mining ISK per hour for an alpha, but it also involves going out there, scanning Lowsec sites or wormholes depending on the gas you want to get. It, similarly to Lowsec and wormhole ore mining, will be more dangerous, as anyone can get out and try to shoot you without Concord coming to your rescue, but that is the trade-off for having more expensive materials. With another fitting for a venture, you can get the following ISK per hour results from Lowsec huffing. If you want to check out how to look for sites and what precautions to take when going out to huff gas in Lowsec, check out the video that will pop up on the screen right now, where I went into deep dive on how an alpha can make ISK huffing gas in Lowsec. On the other side, we have the scary but less active wormhole space. The gas there presents the following possibilities. The sites once more come with sleepers warping in after around 20 minutes. You can either clear them with a cruiser or do what is called ninja mining, so mine for around 20 minutes and get out as soon as sleepers arrive. More on wormhole gas huffing can be found in another video that will pop up on the screen. And that is it when it comes to alphas. When you upgrade to Omega clone status, a whole new world opens up to you, allowing not only for the skills at piloting a venture to go higher, but in general, you will have better and more efficient ships at your disposal for every type of mining. Let's go over a little comparison for all of the types I have already mentioned before. For highsec mining, you will see the following progression on the screen. Mining speed of the Alpha Venture, then fully trained Omega Venture while player gathers up skills to get into a barge, then a barge with Tech 1 strip miners. As crystals, their type are a preference, and I really don't want to make 3 calculations for both a barge and exhumer to account for Tech 1 strip miners and Tech 2 with type A and B crystals. Keep in mind that they increase your waste chance quite a bit, but also allow for a way faster mining. But we will keep at the Tech 1 crystal-less version for this video. In this case, our barge will be a retriever, because it not only has the biggest ore hold of all of the barges, allowing you to stay longer on the belts, but also it is able to put on decent tank, making it less of a target for gankers. Lastly, it will be mining speed of a Machino, which is the Tech 2 exhumer variant of a retriever, boasting a massive ore hold. Upgrading your ship to a Machino will take a lot of ISK, as the Machino hull itself is over 310 million ISK at the moment, but as you can see, it allows you to scale your mining operation even as a solo character. Next, let's have a peek at how the progression for moon mining looks like, since barges and exhumers do really well when it comes to moon mining. Being Omega also allows you to go ahead and start mining ice. Highsec ice mining is not the most lucrative, and since the systems that ice belts respawn in are fixed, they are often patrolled by gankers who will drop on you just for the expensive kill mail and to try getting some salt out of local chat. But if you got a quiet belt for yourself, you can try to get out either in an Endurance, which is a Tech 2 ice mining version of Adventure, or again with a Retriever or Machino. Last ice type that only Endurance has listed, Glare Crust, appears in Lowsec ice belts. This means that like ore mining, you will need to ninja mine it, but having access to Cloak, you can actually wait people out rather than having to run completely from the system. The barge and exhumer setups do not have it included because I will not encourage that kind of mining, because barges are simply too slow and clunky and are way too easy to be caught. You can also see here that Retriever is slower in mining than Endurance, just 2 blocks per hour. However, it should compensate with being able to collect 34 blocks of ice compared to the 19 of the Endurance. That is of course because it will be able to stay longer on the grid without having to warp off. If it's the Lowsec ore you decided to like the most, even with having to clear the occasional rats off of the anomalies, you can go the route of getting yourself a prospect. It is another frigate that this time can use covered ops cloak, so it can jump cloaked. It has 2.5 times bigger ore hold, meaning it can stay on grid for way longer. Gas harvesting is very similar in that regard. Other than upgrading the module to Tech 2 with Omega, Prospect has the exact same mining speed as Adventure, so just one more level of mining frigate and a different module make up the difference in harvesting output. As you can see, being Omega and having the skills for mining trained does make the journey a lot easier to keep Omega. I still recommend making sure you have other types of content you enjoy to not burn yourself out, but this is some quite realistic numbers you can strive for as a single character player. So, how about more than one character? Multiboxing opens a whole world of mining speed and opportunity to a player. Being able to take out not only a Machino, but also an Orca that not only mines just 6,000 less cubic meters per hour than an unboosted Machino, but it boosts the other ships in the fleet up to 46.5% mining speed when Mining Foreman and Orca skills are maxed, allowing you to use Mindlink implants, but it also enables in-space compression, making those ships be able to be deployed as long as the Orca has heavy water to run the industrial core. It is a very long train to do for an ult, but in the end it is a massive income multiplier as it does more than doubles your mining output on paper. It is 2.37 times better to be exact. But even with mining drones of the Orca losing some of that on travel time, this dual setup gains massive boost compared to just having two Machinos due to the fact that you no longer have to warp off and offload your ore. You can simply compress it and throw it into an orca so tanky, no one in highsec will really touch it unless they have some personal vendetta against you. When it comes to gas harvesting, the best option is to grab just another prospect and double the amount of gas you can collect, because most of the boosting ships cannot harvest themselves. For Lowsec or mining, I would also recommend another prospect, because the rule I follow there is that the smaller the target I am, the more likely I am to get away, and if I get caught, I prefer to lose a prospect haul worth 22 million rather than a porpoise worth 140. And finally, the last step to expanding your mining operation, which I will talk about, as that's the sweet spot I reached and never felt the need to expand past it, is the triple boxing. For any highsec mining, 1 orca and 2 boosted machinos is 3.82 times the mining amount you would get as a single unboosted machino, making this a serious mining operation. With gas harvesting, at this point you could start thinking about grabbing something silly like 2 prospects and a boosting Gnosis setup, though it is a lot of jet canning for the Gnosis that can harvest but has a tiny item hangar compared to prospects, though it will not only provide a mining speed boost to prospects, it can mine on par with them due to the fact it has so many free high slots. For Lowsec or mining, I usually just use a triple prospect setup again, because as much as a porpoise would be helpful, especially with boosts, possible compression, I do not like risking it, as any moment you pop the industrial core, you are stuck in space, and it takes just one bad cycle for someone to pop into system, warp on top of you, and light a covered up Sino to get all of your ships blown up. So I hope that this a bit long video cleared up the questions if mining can be profitable. It can, of course, but it does take a big initial investment and time to train. However, once the characters are trained, they can sustain themselves and allow you to earn a big portion, if not all of Omega you need by using them. The journey does not end there, however. Rather, it starts with mining, and a lot of my ults started as mining ones and then learned a lot more. There are mountains of content that free characters open up. 3-man homefronts, which if you can do them well, can supply you with around 300 million ISK per hour or so. Another one is Triple Boxing Abyss. It gives you more slots to use for your PI and industry and enables you to, once the characters train into mining fully, to split what content each of them can run, giving you 3 different queues that will go 3 ways, rather than having you wait to train 3 content types on one character. You can, for example, create your own trading ult, then a hauler, and then a PvP or PvE character, making it able to run 3 of those different types of content at the same time. If you enjoyed this video, share it with a corp mate that might need it, leave a like and subscribe to see my future uploads. If you are interested in what I will talk about next, my videos go up every Sunday. And if we never see each other in space again, Capsulia, fly safe!